Hey all, this is Eucep again, back with another review, and today I'm going to look at SD Gundams. I have quite a few of them and I'd like to show them off to you. This first one is one of the few I can name. Not all of them I can actually name because I frankly don't remember all of their names anymore. Okay, it's not completely that strange because quite a few of them only have Japanese names, and then I do mean Japanese names of the kinds of what the heck are you saying? This is the Sazabi from one of the BB lines. Yeah, there is a longer name for him, and he also has an evolved name and whatever more. But in basis, this is a chibified, a cutified version, plus added in some Ronin armors, Japanese samurai type armors, just to give it an added style to it, besides being cute due to being so small. These also nearly always come with a lot of extra goodies to change them or alter their appearances. So all in all, they are very fun kits to build, except for one point. These guys really need a lot of paint. Once this is uploaded, I'll add a link to a video by Vegeta, a very good Gundam builder. He made a video of this guy, but then completely painted up how it should look. Not like me, who has absolutely no ability to paint properly. Yeah, I can paint somewhat, but to me it's a lot more bothersome to do than for others due to the fact that I have some tremors in my hands which I cannot quiet. So it's nearly impossible for me to do it on this kind of scale. I have a few where I did some touch-ups, but frankly put, for the most, I'm not going to try it. I already have a hard time just putting on the stickers, which are plentiful on these. So, the Sazabi. As you can see, this is the base robot, with all loose parts gone from him. It's just a little figure who has a few ball jointed parts, like his head is on a loose ball joint which can move around. The shoulder is a loose ball joint. This arm part is on a ball joint as well, and then the fist itself is on a ball joint. Inside, a ball joint for each hip and a ball joint for each ankle. So in terms of posability for the joints they have, it isn't actually too shabby. There are worse ones who, especially the older SD kits, they have a lot less motion. This is one of the more recent ones as far as I understand it. But yeah, it varies from kit to kit. Some actually have additional transformation abilities or can change forms, whatever. This one just has two forms. So let's go into the first form. Put on the helmet, which makes him already look a bit more impressive. Let's see. Then we have these parts, which go onto his shoulders. To make him look even more buff. So yeah, quite broad already. Then he has two swords. Now this one is actually the more special one of the two. The original mold for him, the Sazabi, the real Sazabi, actually has a shield with this basic shape in it without the flames around it, which is quite cool that they actually homage it like this. And then there is this sword. Yeah, they are hollow on the insides, which is a sad thing. In those regards, they are quite cheap, these kits, even when painted. But once again, in the video which I'll link, you'll see that soon enough. So yeah, you can equip him with those. You can also, with this end stopper, which goes onto here, you can actually make these into a dual wield sword. Also very cool looking. And for his upgraded form, which I'll show in a moment, there's a reason for this pack. Namely, I can take this one, pack it onto here, and make one huge kick-ass sword for him. But I'll change into his super form first for that, and I'll link it up then. To up him up to what, as I understand it, is the Nightingale form, you take off the side pieces, put it onto these. There are holes for these. And the Nightingale is some kind of upgrade of the Sazabi, and it has thrusters and stuff, so it can fly better, I think. But yeah, I don't know enough to really comment about it, so oh well. Those go on to the back. Then we have two additional parts. We have this chest part, which slides into slots on the sides, and a new face mask which locks into his helmet and into the hole in front of his frontal horn. And here we have him in his Nightingale super form. Yeah, it's not completely my favorite mode for this guy, but it has something into it. I haven't put this in completely right, so to see. Yeah, now it's better. Yeah, it looks interesting, more so when you put in the giant sword of doom. These actually hold their weapons usually quite well, because despite their size, they're usually not so heavy. So yeah, he can hold up his sword somewhat. Like, I'm going to kick your ass. Yeah. But as you can see, with lack of painting, and there is so much detail in these, you really want to be able to paint these up. Let's show a few more. Also out of these crazy lines of these more samurai-esque, knight-esque figures. I have four of some here. There are some which can detach and form creatures. All these loose parts on this one actually make up a form of an octopus, which is quite silly looking, but well. These are just like armor upgrades on these figures, and there are lesser ones underneath. Same goes for this one, who actually is a Neko Gundam. Yeah, I have no idea of his real name, but underneath this he actually has some sort of a Neko-like look. I'll try to get everything off him. Let's see. Yes, yeah, as you can see, you see the cat ears there. Like these little armor bits, which all slide off, and you eventually are left with a tiny figure. How the heck do these come off? Would have helped if I actually studied these figures beforehand. And all these little parts then come together to form something else, if I remember correctly. Right, last bit off. We're left with this one, and if I recall correctly, I either need to press up or move it down. Oh yeah, there is a loose face mask still. I'm not entirely sure anymore how it comes off. Alright, and then there was these eyes. There was also something with these. They could come up and... oh yeah, now I remember. Yes, I had to press on the feet. Yeah, a little cat Gundam. Cute, ain't it? Also with rather limited articulation, but at least it has some, which is nice. Its little feet are on ball joints in there, and yeah. And they are fairly silly, and you see how much junk actually comes off to make those like this. Yeah, I'm going to reassemble that one later. Then we have this Night Gundam thingy, also forgot his name, and a Chun-Li Gundam. I don't have a better name for it, because, well, it's a female Gundam with hair buns. Why the hell does she have hair buns? Well, she has no hair. This part of her backpack can form into a bow, that's why she has a loose arrow. Decent figures are, these are. Let's put these to the side. And then there are some more realistic ones. This one is a bit less, but it's also a lot smaller than the rest. I'm going to bring back this one. Even without armor, it's still bigger than this one. There's also a whole line of these, and this one transforms into something of a lion. If I do this correctly. Yeah, there's some lion face here. This one is one of the very few I've ever tried to paint, but it really didn't work out that well, so I haven't tried it since. It's actually this is one of my older kits, so I painted it during the time that I actually could still do that. So, oh well. You have some more of these little versions of various characters. I really have no idea. Goof or something or whatever, or Zaku's. I really don't know, but as you can see, once again, unpainted, there really isn't much to them at all. There are some better ones, like this trio, that there were 3 in a box. I really like these, because they're quite well articulated and very fun. Most of these actually have some tricks so their eyes can be moved. This one does not, this one does, by rotating this, which gives a nice effect. And also articulated arms, well, somewhat articulated. They can move, which is what counts, and yeah, tiny bits of movements in those legs. And since I'm running out of time for the 15 minutes, just going to show the last few very quickly. The Crossbone Gundam, which doesn't really look much like it due to the fact that I've not painted the skull thingy at all, so yeah, too bad. I tried to do the saber, but it looks so bad. I'll have to retry again another time. And my fully armored up Gundam Strike and with L-Pack and full armament and everything. So yeah, this one's a bit over the top. And finally, I also have this one. Well, that's just the base. That's the actual Gundam. Chibi mode. Destroy Gundam or Destroy Unicorn. Yeah, very cool. Yeah, that's the same head as for this one, but then a lot larger. Anyway, this was Eucep. See you all next time.